Donald's dream voice is brilliant because it's very aware of how annoying Donald Duck's voice is. I actually love Donald's voice. I think when Clarence Nash created this voice, he did a really brilliant thing because Donald's voice is so iconic and so recognizable, and I really love it. I genuinely love Donald's voice, but I know that it can be quite annoying, and it can be difficult to hear. There are even, not so much with Clarence Nash, but certainly with people who have taken on the voice over the years, sometimes they go a little bit too far with it, you can't quite hear it. And this is what Donald's Dream voice addresses. This was released in 1948, directed by Jack King, with a story by Roy Williams. And of course we have Clarence Nash as Donald Duck, and also Leslie Denison as Donald Duck. And we also have Ruth Clifford as Daisy Duck. To be honest, Daisy in this is annoying because she's very giggly and stereotypically just swooning over Donald, and it's unusual. Daisy's usually quite a headstrong character who is the one who is telling Donald to get his act together and stop being annoying and agitated. But in this one, Daisy just wasn't very well represented. But Donald certainly was very interesting. He's trying to sell hairbrushes door to door, or different kinds of brushes, but every time somebody answers the door, he opens his mouth and they slam the door in his face because they can't understand a word he is saying. But then he comes across this street vendor who is selling voice pills, and if he takes these voice pills, he will have a much more suave, sophisticated, eloquent, understandable voice. So he does this, and it's a very interesting commentary on how people perceive individuals based on their voices, or indeed accents. That's definitely something that happens. We all judge people. Whether or not we do it consciously, and whether or not we'd admit it, we all judge people based on their voice, the way they speak. Even though it's a product of where you're from or how, it's not always a sign of anything. But Donald Duck is treated very differently when it seems that he is more sophisticated. Because he speaks more eloquently, he sounds more well educated. I think it's definitely an interesting look at that as a whole, but on a more specific level, it's just an interesting commentary on Donald Duck's voice and the fact that sometimes he can be a little hard to understand. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great fun to play with Donald's voice. It is trippy. It is weird hearing a different voice. I think Leslie Denison did a great job with the voice that Donald had when he took the pills, but it is trippy to hear Donald with a different voice. But I really enjoyed it. As I said, the representation of Daisy was a little bit questionable, and not usual either. It's very atypical behaviour for Daisy. But I really liked it. Donald's Dream voice is definitely worth watching if you're a fan of Donald Duck.